straight. Say it, icy straight. Sunrise. Gosh, looks so like another planet.
Yeah.
Can you get that pink?
It did.
It doesn't always.
Oh, but we get passion.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I know, that's, where did they go? They were here. Now which way they go? They can see under 6, 7, 8. They could be in.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as I look over here, they're going to be over there.
I was gonna say, I saw you something
Yeah,
way.
it's way up. What's your cane? Might not be able to go over. Oh, where is it?
There we
See the
go.
one way up there, Paul? He's way up. He's too far out to.
Oh, there he is.
Just do the bell.
Incoming.
Hold on here, Paul. And you don't have to have that key. Because we have to have the key. You never know. They don't tell you what direction. Right there. See him.
They're up that
Yeah,
way.
now they're that way. They're not like connected.
Right, yeah.
Oh, there they are over there now.
Not
Yeah.
We don't see orchids.
I don't know if I'll get it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Is it in the summertime? It's really bright and green. Not today specifically, but we're like in the last 3
They're nice.
October.
I didn't know they stayed on the top so much.
Yeah.
You blew that time.
Mm.
Shit. You get part of them, but not the best part.
There we go. Oh my stars.
You can tell that he's gonna come up in that spot. Because the birds are trying to get the leftover like in a little bubble circle. So he'll come up and feed off of that.
Next time, Ryan, it has to come out. But I have to say, time you
We got a couple miles on the boat.
that she was hosting an event with some businessmen, and one of the business guys goes, "Let's understand how this works."
Looking like they came back.
I told you I was listening.
I know, but I thought I was just trying for a reason.
Mana? Oh, sini. Mana coba lihat. Waduh, emang benar tukang foto. Hah?
Now, are those the ones that take you to the zip line, or is that just a gondola?
Gondola, Alice.
Oh, okay. You don't want to do it.
Nope. Nope. Yep, sure would be. Yes.
There's about 7, 8 of them.
Oh, on the tail.
Oh, wicked.
Like to see.
Went under.
Looks like they're getting set up to do some bubble net feeding.
You think so? Yeah. What's that?
They
So
know
where
bubble
grew
net
up and
feeding,
they-
what they
Oh,
do,
yeah.
what they do
Confuse
is
the
they
fish.
release a bunch of bubbles around a bunch of fish,
Uh-huh.
around the herring, and the bubbles confuse the herring, so it makes them feel like they're trapped. And then they just circle little bubbles circling the herring, and then they come up in the middle of them.
Right. Oh.
And it's usually the
Straight up.
largest female. She will actually sound off when to come up for feeding. So right now they're all taking deep breaths, and they're going to go down, and they're each going to let off a string of
There they went.
bubbles.
Watch, here goes the tail.
Yeah.
There it goes. Whoa.
That's when the heads come up, right?
No, they're going to.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's tall.
Doesn't that look like it is icy cold?
Yeah.
boat from our ship, getting up close like we did with the Hubbard boat. That looks sharper, you know, the down is so pretty. Trying to see the glacier from where it's coming. It's way up there.
one of them, that's how many life jackets will fall out. For you guys up top, if you look where Captain Dave's driving in the wheelhouse, he's pointing down to a large aluminum box. Tons of life jackets for adults and children's in there. And also up forward in our forepeak, there's 2 holes in the forward wall, one for adult life jackets and one for children. So we've got them down there, in there, and up top. Right here, it's very common. Same thing with this stuff over here. But we have something on board today that no other crab boat in the world has. Of that I'm sure, and it's just for you guys, okay? You guys ready? Yeah. We have a gift shop. Right back in that galley back there, you guys.
All right, first thing he's going to do is pull up buoys in, then he's going to hand coil this buoy line. Looking good, Dave. Yeah, it's going to come up nice. Dave can't see where this line is. I got to tell him where it is. I'd turn a little bit starboard, starting to head under the boat. But normally the guy doing this would have steering and throttle right here and be driving the boat, so I could stay on the line. But when we get to the hooks, he's just going to let those hooks drop straight into that tub, and that's what we would do if it was 600 feet long. Here they come. And then when that tub was completely full and we got to another one, they would untie it and hand it to somebody to straighten out. A little bit more starboard. There you go.
Let me know the anchor's off the bottom.
Anchor's off the bottom. We got hooks coming. And bait on every one. That's not a good sign.
Well, I mean, you did your job.
What kind of bait you got?
Well, we got herring on there.
Herring, okay. Got any squid?
No.
I don't know about barely, but
Well, we're not going very fast. I've seen it go fast.
really like.
Good shot on that net. I told you there's mated pairs. They typically find a mate. So Big D's throwing some herring out there. I'm going to preface this by saying that it's illegal to feed eagles everywhere in the U.S., but the Simshan allow us to do this in their waters. He's looking.
Keep the camera on the herring.
There we go. So we actually know again, getting closer to his mate.
Yeah, he's not real happy about these seagulls.
There it comes.
Here it comes.
It's going around. Oh, he's going
You've heard the term eagle eye before. If we had their vision, you'd be able to read a newspaper the length of a football field away. Does anybody know what these white birds are? This is actually the West Coast spot prawn. They're found all the way from down in Mexico up into northern Alaska. Here's the difference between a prawn and a shrimp for us. There's some anatomy differences. They're cousins to each other. But prawns are meat eaters and shrimps are vegetarians. Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump had to drag that net through the water, hoping they were catching those critters. We get to set out pots, traps, whatever you want to call them, and we end up putting bait in there, and they come to us because they're carnivores. Now this is a long line fishery, just like those hooks. Wouldn't make sense to have just one hook on that long line and pull it up one at a time. Same thing with prawn pots. We're deep enough that it's not cost effective to pull line all day. So you're going to put anywhere from 10 to 50 pots on the end of a prawn string. Fishermen are getting 20 bucks a pound for them. And it takes about 6 to 8 prawns to make a pound.
tight to the boat, Dave. Okay, it's starting to come out now.
The ground line the pots are attached to. We have 4 of them here. Give you an example of what long lining would look like. Well, it looks like to be a pound in there just about. Oh, got some hermit crabs in there, some prawns, whatever can fit in those 3 tunnels with those 3-inch rings, we'll catch it. Got one more coming.
Look at this. Oh, look.
All right.
Look at that shell, Alice.
There's a shell in there?
There's a shell in there. There's a couple of them.
Okay, Vicky and the gals, we're going to get this gear ready to go back. We're going to hand out some of these critters to you, including you folks up top. And here's how you're going to hold them, okay?
Honey, are there any
You're going to hold them
shells?
right by their head like this. They may flop around in your hand a little bit. We do have a rule on this boat. No squealing.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see how that goes. Once you have one, just pass it down the line. We'll kind of keep you close to your seats, at least on this fishery.
There you go. I'm just going to pass that around. You want to hold one?
There you go.
Come on.
Oh my God.
Okay, you hold on to that.
Put in your pocket. Uh-huh. In your pocket. Off you go.
So, did I go?
A whole lot you can do other than stand back and let her develop and deal with it on the following day, because you're not going to stop it.
Captain Dave's back.
Oh yeah. Okay, let her trail.
Okay.
I thought it was...
Here we go.
Buoys are over. Hanging and holding.
You guys see behind me, the beach is right there. I'm in about 200 feet of water. I'm going down to 300. It drops off like a cliff right here. And we can start setting right about now, guys. First one's over. Hopefully that current's not running too hard. It might drift into that crab pot, but we'll see. You know what? I got an eagle over here on a tree, guys. Why don't we...
Juices flow into the bay. There's currents down there, and those animals follow that trail of fresh scent, fresh meat, and they get into our pots. At least that's our working theory. And here's how they're going to work. We're going to hang those bait jars around that tunnel. If we're commercial fishing, we're going to have up to 4 of those around there. Those scents are flowing down into the bay. They smell that. They come crawling across the bottom. They reach the pot, they climb right up the side of it, just like that, and then they get in that tunnel, and we got them just like that. It's that easy, right? Now, we empty this thing by releasing this pucker strap. The whole bottom opens, we sort these things. And then we start stacking them like cereal bowls on your kitchen cabinet, right on top of each other. Let's say we could fit 4 of those big king crab pots right here. You can fit 25 of those in the same area in a couple stacks. So it's about capacity. Tell them what you got, Big D.
I've got box crabs, BOX, and they're a pretty close relative to the king crab. They taste just like king crab. They're really hard to catch, and they're really hard to find in the market because not very many people process them. But they are the coolest crabs we catch by a long shot. They just do everything a crab does times 10. When they're closed and open, they're like 2 different animals. They're like little transformers. And when you guys hold them, you're going to put a couple fingers down there under their belly like that, thumb on the back, and just hold them like a sandwich. And just check them out. They're pretty fascinating. Okay, now I got another type of crab. This is a tanner crab, and it's a tanner bear dye. There's also the tanner apelio. Both those crabs are going to be bunched under the Alaskan snow crab name, okay? You're going to hold them just like a bicycle, out here by their legs. Let those claws hang down. We got gals coming up to you guys up there. The rest of you can get out here and take pictures. We're ready to share our crabs with you. I don't get what's funny. That's on you guys if you think that's funny. Come on out here.
First one, a snow crab?
There we go.
Yep.
Oh, come on down, you guys. This is your chance to get out of your home bases. Come on out here.
Yeah? Oh, they'll rip your arm off. And nobody wants to process them. It's only about 10.
Anyone else want to hold them? Can we pass them down here?
Yep. Yep, that's what
I want to eat Charlie. I
Yeah, and if you're done, just pass them to somebody else who hasn't held one. And I'll go get some bear eggs.
Yep, I'll bring it. Dangerous, they put it between my legs.
These guys, you really got to hold in your life.
I'm looking for people to hold these crabs.
This one's to open. Those fold right up into a ring.
How about you? You want to hold one?
Yeah, nice.
Got one? Yeah, put it back in there. Sure. It's a bear dye.
All the crabs on the West Coast. And this actually makes a pretty good photo or video when he's throwing this line after his pot goes in. Either be a really good video for home or it could be a pretty good one for YouTube, depending on how it goes.
This could go viral.
Okay, let's let her go. Going over.
Going over.
Nice.
All right, you guys are box grabbers.
Nothing to it.
It's that easy, right? Got some freshwater outfalls, real rivers and streams that they dump into rocky coastlines. These guys right here are by far comes to a point, it's like a triangle or a pyramid. It's definitely not a half circle, which is what the female has. Very, very prone. Now, they also have to be a certain size across the back, 6.5 inches. If we have any question as to whether that's a legal crab, we'll take this 6.5 inch margin stick, we'll put it on that shell. As long as it touches spines on both sides, you're good to go. That's a legal male crab. Put it in the tank. Now they have two types of claws up front. Almost all the time is the crusher claw on the right-hand side. That crusher claw has some white pieces of ivory up in there. That ivory's in there to support that claw. If it didn't have that ivory, it would crush its own claw when it goes to crush things. On the left-hand side, almost all the time is going to be that cutter claw. That cutter claw is going to cut those pieces up and manipulate them into its mouth where it has two more pieces of ivory. Those are its teeth, and they jump sideways instead of up and down like ours, okay? Now that king crab face, if you've ever seen the Predator movies, that's the Predator face right there. That creature designer used this as the template. And if you look at the Predator fingers, right there, Predator fingers. I just love that. That's the nerd in me, sorry. Now, this guy has a... Behold, the red king crab. I can tell you get it. Now listen, if these were live, they'd be in a big pile on the bottom of this door. But here's what was going on every day. We pulled this up, there'd be 10 empty shells in there. You'd have 3 live crab and you'd have a 25-pound octopus. And he would look at you and he would say, hey man, it was like that when I got in here last night. I don't know what's going on. No, it was an all-you-can-eat buffet. They were killing the crab. So we keep them on here. And this let us set it up like it was fishing on the bottom. Let's say Captain Dave's looking for the crab. He's got test streams out there trying to find the schools, right? He yanks this up after a 24-hour soak. We're excited. I got 3 riders in my side that were getting in there when we yanked the pot. Big D has 2. That means they were down there right now. You're going to hear Captain Dave say, get those crab out of there, add bait to it, kick it over, we're fishing right here. At 11 bucks a pound or so, at about 7.5 pounds a piece on average when we catch them, you get 50 in a pot, you're looking at a serious payday. Over $4,000 a pot.
Like this. And once I pick it up, there's going to be a couple of guys swinging a table under there so I have a place to dump it. 2 guys unhooking those straps and they'll flip that door up on top. And then all I have to do is dump it out. The way I'm going to do that is just stand it up. And when I get up here like this, I'm going to start shaking this handle and everything should fall out onto that table. Now that's pretty simple stuff, unless I've been out here for, let's say 30 hours or so and I'm cold and I'm wet, tired and hungry and not actually thinking all that straight, and I forget one little operation. Forget to put those dogs on right there. All it takes is this boat to take a hard roll or one wave or me shaking it, and that pot's coming off of there. It's going to land right there. It's going to stop right back there at that rail. It's going to take everything out in between it. It's 750 pounds. And everybody's seen it happen. It's just, our job is to try to minimize it. And the way I do it is I just say what I'm doing. Like right now, I'm going down.
Going down.
Now, this is a 6.5 by, means it's 6.5 feet by 6.5 feet. Probably the most popular pot up there for fishing king crab and tanners. This one's set up for king crab. You can see this mesh down here. It's like 4.5 inches. It's big. That's going to allow the females to get out, and it's also going to allow all the tanner crabs to get out. And they will. They don't like spending time once they realize they're trapped. They're going to find a way out. And that's going to sort that, so we end up with mostly legal crabs in there. And we also have these hoods. They'll be attached all the way up for king crab. And then when we want to use this for tanner, we'll put them down far enough to where the king crab can't get in, but the tanner still can. And we're going to drop this. It's called the tanner board. We cut these straps, let it fold down over the front of this door and attach it to the bottom, and that covers up this big mesh, and now this thing's suitable for catching tanner. The one thing that we're going to do when we get a new crab pot, we're going to cut an 18-inch hole right in the tunnel. And then we're going to sew that hole up with a biodegradable cotton twine. And the reason we do that is because you are going to lose pots. And you have no idea which ones, so you have to do it to all of them. And the ice is going to take a buoy, somebody's going to run over it, it's going to get knotted up. You're going to lose a certain amount of pots. If we have that in there, after 35 to 40 days, somewhere in that neighborhood, that's going to rot out, and it's going to have an 18-inch hole in it. Anything that gets in can get out. If you don't do that, it's just going to keep fishing. It takes a long time for steel and nylon to wear out.
Okay. So everybody sees the red crab. Now I talked a little bit about the snow crab, right? You guys, everybody sees the tags on this crab pot. These are memories from our guests right here, you guys. We haven't been here for 2.5 years because of COVID. Regardless, we came up this year and we found out that the native Indians on this island right over that mountain, the town of Metlakatla, that they had some fishing accidents. 3 different accidents.
You guys are king crabbers.
Up to it.
Here's why. If you're going to eat the show, you're going to be part of the show. We got this guy in our prawn pots, I think 2 days ago now, on the early morning tour. They're nocturnal feeders. They get into our prawn pots, they eat prawns all night, take a nap. We pull them up off the bottom, sleeping in those pots. We put them in the tank, bring them over here, we parole the one we have in timeout, and we put the new one in there to give him a timeout. Think about
The Aleutian Mallard. Yay!
You better be nice. I got the tickets.
I know.
I'm sure he'll be very upset.
We hope.
On Victoria, and this island at that time was called the Colony of Vancouver Island. To guide the ships to give to the less fortunate, ladies and gentlemen. They really do a lot for a lot. The very first venue to take place in the arena was a band, and the lead singer's name, Rod Stewart. Now, a piece of concrete or something was left in the rafters. Fall down on some lions at each side of the gate post. Those granite lions were... It's a great legend. Like street maps. Now here, on the right-hand side of the bus, this yellow building, this used to be a granary. A place where you could buy feed for your animals, seed for your gardens, and things like that. There's probably 300 wineries, distilleries, and breweries in British Columbia. Look over to the left, folks. You see the grand ship there, that is the Coho Ferry, into the restorations of the Empress Hotel, and they figure with 50 million more, the architect. It is the only international harbor, international airport in the world where the pilot may have to go around. When Rattenberry was asked by the Canadian Pacific Railway to build a luxury hotel to serve their guests coming off their steamships, Rattenberry wanted the hotel built right there. Because as you rounded the corner from where your cruise ship is sitting, and built the hotel on top of them. The Empress Hotel has only sank 3 inches in 100 years. Now, take a look at these ugly 2 buildings over here on the right. Cisco Carpenter's building them. And the streets back there, over to the right. Automobile fuel on the... Now, once I go through this, if you wanted to buy a house in Oak Bay on the right, you may have to pay $50,000 or $100,000 more than on the left in Victoria, only because it's in Oak Bay. Developing vaccines for the COVID. We're driving on your left bump. Now, you see this little mountain over here to the right? It's kind of a sandy color mountain. That's Cedar Hill. That's where Francis Rattenberry had his people come up, chop down old growth cedar trees, drag them downtown to build, stick in the mud and build the Empress Hotel on top of it. The lens on the LA telescope, 106 inches, much bigger. There is our beautiful city, ladies and gentlemen. You see the 2 condo buildings that we drove by earlier, the 2 condo buildings? That's the Save On Foods Memorial Center, our hockey rink. 3 entrepreneurs from Manitoba came, bought the 460 acres with the intention of building the right downtown to Fort Victoria on 4th Street. Now I see the tide came in, so maybe there might, if you see a little seal popping their head above the water here shortly. Now, before the Europeans showed up here, ladies and gentlemen, but he also kept 2 rooms. Isn't it gorgeous? This, people with the names like Bob Hope and Bing Crosby and Tiger Woods have all golfed here. Upstanding member of the golf course. What's that saying? That's what I was talking about. Our Budas tree, ladies and gentlemen, it sheds its bark throughout on the right. Our summertime temperatures are beautiful, 60 to 75. One direction, I think, folks. Don't hold me to that. But it's a beautiful little walk back to his very first architectural job. Folks, if you enjoyed my tour and you're leaving me today, you're down there. Folks, it's where our provincial politicians hang out. We are the capital of British Columbia. Now, can you all see that gold statue over has 2 left feet? This spooky black statue on the left here, folks, that is Queen Victoria. That's who our city's named after. To 1924 and completely restored around Now, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, they have a boy together named Wyatt Russell. And
province is about 4.5 million. Out of that 4.5 million, 2 million people live in the Greater Vancouver Regional District, in surrounding and in downtown. There's a thing that they believe in. there was a big windstorm, and we lost over 2,000 deer. The family owned or built it and owned this bridge because they own the property on the other side of the bridge. You'll see the mountains. It's called the British Properties. If you take a peek on your left, that's the British Properties, and a house would cost you about $10 million out there. On your right is the cruise ship terminal. There's Vancouver, being a port city, have different ports for all shipments. The cruise ship, the container, the steel, the lumber, all the shipping, and then the crude, of course. You might notice this is a connect you all the way up to Alaska. It's going up north, the old CP rail. Right now we are approaching the Fury Creek. It's a little golf resort here. I mean, the house is built around a golf course. Other times it's all covered. The one, no. 1,000 meters above sea. That's about 3,000 feet above sea level. That's where the restaurant is. So 10.55 will be departing.
Turn around. Turn around. I know.
There's the falls.
Yeah.
Like hot more water. The words. More watery.
Yeah.
I got myself.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Don't worry about me. It's all about you guys.
I was waiting to get you in the sun, so shut up.
This is pretty.
Yeah.
I just don't like it when it bumps.
I was like, oh God, don't tell me she's gonna do that all the way up. Oh, nice picture.
God forbid I get into people's way. Oh, that's pretty with the sailboat out there.
Yeah, I got that shot.
I have a shadow of us. It. I don't know what town that is, but that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
I get ready to stop. It's beautiful through there, don't you think?
Uh-huh.
We're here! I have her talking to you in the sky.
So what happens after this gondola ride?
Well, we go to the airport by 3 o'clock.
I mean, not that high,
but we are high.
Yeah, we are high, but we're not talking
I
about.
don't want to change anything, and then we'll get off. I was thinking of having Roy meet me there, and you and I would go back with Roy and Zuber, and then Alice and Bob could just